So, hello guys, today we'll discuss how we can use AI for investment, like how can we pick the correct mutual funds with the help of AI. What we found out was that generic LLMs lacks the real-time data context. So, when you try to use generic LLMs, you get a feeling that they are giving more very generic answers and they are not really data backed and they don't have the real time data context. So we built niveshmultiplier.com, which is data backed and has real time data. So let's hop into the website and see what are the capabilities of niveshmultiplier.com and how it can help in searching the correct mutual funds. So I'll log on to the website. I will go to the market research mode. Let's say I want to search the best mid cap funds. So we got a response of this thing. So we'll go into the AI generated text later on. Let's first see what data we get. So it is giving us like these are the top 5 mid cap funds, and this is actually on the basis of a lot of things. The best mutual funds in a particular category comes on the basis of score, and that score is on the basis of 1 year return, 3 year return, 5 year return, what is the alpha generated, what is the Sharpe ratio, what is the Sortino ratio. So we create a score on the basis of that, and then we find out the best 4 5 mutual funds in a particular category. So as per our algorithm, we found that these are the top mid cap funds. Now I am still not very much satisfied. I'll first go into the data to see how good is the quality of responses. So it is clearly showing, this chart shows the 6 months, 1 year, 3 year and 5 year return of all these mutual funds, and this is real time data which is refreshed almost daily. So Motilal Oswal mid cap is good on a 5 year term, but on a 6 month term or a 1 year term, I could see Motilal Oswal mid cap is minus 8.22%. I could see that still your Edelweiss's mid cap fund looks good, your Invesco mid cap fund looks good. So this chart is kind of summarizing the returns by all of the top mid cap funds, but only the returns are not sufficient. So I'll go to the second section, which is the ratios. So over here, we are showing the performance ratios of all these mutual funds. So I'm a beginner. I don't know what is an alpha ratio, what's a Sharpe ratio, what's a Sortino ratio, like what's alpha. I don't know. So it is clearly telling me that alpha means the measure of the fund performance relative to its benchmark. So greater the value, better it is. That is what I am understanding. But still, I don't know how much value is good enough. So if I press the I button, I could see if it is more than 2%, then it's a strong skill. If it is 1 to 2%, then it's okay. And if it is between 0 to 1, it's average. Like you're just performing over your category average, right? So basically, if you're beating the category by more than 2%, then you are doing way good. So I could see, okay, Mahindra Manulife is 2.6. I can see, okay, Invesco has 5.71, Motilal is 4.92, and HDFC has 4.80. This is now telling me from the category, these funds are beating the category by this much margin, which looks good to me. Next comes the Sharpe ratio, which shows how much return the fund delivers for every unit of risk taken. Because in the sense that more the value it is, the better risk adjusted returns you are getting. So essentially these are the numbers which helps you to find out what is your alpha generated, what is your risk adjusted returns. So similarly you have Sortino ratio. So basis on these scores, you try to figure out that whichever fund is having good scores and all these 3 parameters looks good to us. Then we go to the ranking section, that what is the rank of each of these funds in those particular duration of time, like 1 year ranking. So for example, over here I could see, okay, 5 year mein mid cap, Motilal mid cap is first rank, but in 1 year I could say, okay, it is 48th rank. Right now I am able to judge that Edelweiss's mid cap and HDFC mid cap looks consistently among the top rankers in all these durations. That is what I am getting. And when I went to the ratios also, I could see, okay, Edelweiss's and Invesco and these people are really generating alpha. And then I could say what is the expense ratio. I need to know how much I'm paying for. So again, it is all visualized, so it helps us in a lot of way. Then I could see what is the holding wise thing, like which funds put money into which company. So I could see Mahindra Manulife is putting money into these firms, Edelweiss is putting money into these firms, right? HDFC is putting money into these firms like this, and Motilal Oswal is putting into these firms. Now I could see that the holdings of Motilal Oswal, I could see that they are putting money into, IT sector, and IT sector was not really good in the last 1 year in 2025. So that's why 1 year performance looks bad. And then I could see, okay, there is a sector wise heat map as well, that you could see which fund is putting money into which sector. All you could see sector wise exposure looks same across all these funds. Now, having read all this, data in a structured format, now I'll read the AI generated summary. So, it is kind of giving us what is the pros and cons for each of these funds. So you could read this AI generated summary, key all of this thing which we just saw on the table, and overall it gives that short term may be concern. HDFC midcap and Invesco should be closely looked for immediate performance, whereas Edelweiss's provide a more balanced option across time frames. So I think this kind of answer none of the LLM gives, none of the websites where we research on various mutual funds gives, because it really eases our job in searching various mutual funds. Like it has eased my job. I could see, okay, I have to now shortlist among these 4 or 5 mutual funds only, and then I have the whole data right from the returns to the expense ratio to their performance ratios to their holdings where they are putting money into. Now, another kind of question that we might ask is, suppose I want to compare two different kind of mutual funds. Let's say I want to say, basically we always have doubts like which fund is good to go towards. If we have, we have shortlisted 2 3 funds, then also we could use this product to get more insights, like what's the actual difference between these two mutual funds. So after, analyzing the data and all, it gives a whole AI generated answer with lots of data points. So right now, along with the funds that you are trying to ask, it is also giving you the funds which you might be interested as well. Now suppose I want to ask a question like we are seeing that Make in India is right now a big push from the government. Like we have to do Make in India, and after Operation Sindoor, a lot of defense procurement is being done, and all of those are being done via, Make in India way. So a lot of defense companies are getting good amount of orders. So if I want to find out, let's say, domain wise mutual fund, like which mutual fund is investing into defense industry and all, I would just simply say find defense sector oriented mutual funds, and then it would try to get the all the data and try to do the data crunching and go to the LLM and try to form a high quality answer. So yeah, I got this thing. So it has crunched the data and now it has shortlisted 3 funds. Since these kind of sectoral, this is a very sectoral fund, these are not very old, so you have just 1 year return. So it is showing you that we have an Aditya Birla Nifty India Defense Index, you have a Motilal Oswal Nifty India Defense Index, and you have a HDFC Defense Fund. So I could see 6 months return is not very good and 1 year return looks good in this kind of a market. But since these are pretty much new funds, you don't have a 3 year and a 5 year data. Ranking wise, we have only 1 year ranking. So expenses is like this, and holdings is something where I would be interested into LC. So they are putting money in almost all these mutual funds are putting money into the same Bharat Electronics, Hindustan Aeronautics. In fact, the percentage allocation is also looking same, at least in these two, Bharat Forge, then Masgon, Dock Shipbuilders. Similarly, if I go to over here, they are also pretty much identical because they are index funds essentially. In these kind of situation, when you know that I want to go for a defense oriented fund, you are confident on the sector, and you are now able to see from this tool that the allocation also looks pretty much similar. You can then decide on the basis of the expense ratios. We could go for an Aditya Birla India Defense Index Fund, because it is the cheapest expense ratio, and the allocation looks pretty much the same. So you could ask questions related to domain as well. So we asked the best defense oriented mutual funds. We could ask a more granular question. These days gold is really hot, and maybe I'm interested in buying any multi-asset fund, but I'm more interested in buying a multi-asset fund which has a good amount of gold allocation. So I could just prompt like, so we got a response of this thing. This is an AI generated summary. I could see that it is saying that Kotak Multi-Asset Omni Fund of Fund has provided this return with a 15.44% allocation to the Kotak Gold ETF. So I get the point. Whatever I am asking, I am straight away getting the data out of it, and it's a real time correct data. Similarly, it is saying Quant Multi-Asset Fund has this much return, and this doesn't have a lot of gold exposure. Okay, so it makes my mind more clearer that since I want multi-asset fund with good gold allocation, so I might not look into quant multi-asset fund then. And it also says that it invest into silver through Nippon India Silver ETF, which is a good insight for me, because I can see, okay, it is putting money into commodities and all. Then it tells about the SBI multi-asset fund. It has a gold allocation of 3.34. So if gold was the only criteria for me, I could see, okay, Kotak is putting more money. Then it is saying like Nippon multi-asset fund has a gold exposure of 10.38%, and these are the returns, these are the Sharpe ratio. So then, having seen this, now let's go to the data point where the whole data is churned. So it is telling what is your 1 year return, what is your 3 year return. So along with the multi-asset fund, it is also, since the question is very much intended towards gold, so it is also giving you gold specific funds which are investing money into gold ETFs. So these would have a very high return because in 2025 gold had a big bull run. These are your returns. So for all these funds which the system has shortlisted, it gives you the return. Similarly, you could then see the performance ratios. Since gold is, you cannot generate a lot of alpha for a gold ETF, for a gold mutual fund. So over here you could see that whatever is a gold specific fund, the alpha is not that high. These are the multi-asset funds, they have a pretty good alpha. These are the rankings. These rankings are on the respective rankings of their category. So I am more interested into the holding side, like where they are putting money. So I go to the multi-asset funds first. So I could see that this is putting money in 15.44% to gold, and it is putting money into various ETFs. One is a PSU ETF, another is a Nifty 50 ETF. Then I'll see what is the quant multi-asset fund doing. So this is not actually putting any money into gold, which AI summary also told. It is putting although 8.21% to the silver, and these are the companies where it is putting money into. Similarly, SBI is putting around 3.34%. Nippon multi-asset is putting around 10.38% into the gold ETF, and it is putting a 3% into silver as well. So then you, this is a gold fund of fund essentially, so it's putting money into the gold only. This is again a multi-asset fund, and I could see it is putting 4.50% into the gold, rest into various other organizations. And these are kind of funds which are putting money into their respective ETFs, so they are essentially whole gold based. So it clears whole picture a lot. If I am interested into multi-asset fund but more skewed towards gold, it could serve those answers as well, and pretty better than any generic LLM out there, than any website out there, because it is a bit opinionated in the sense it skews down your search space, it reduces your search space, and this thing is really time saving, and it is truly data backed, so you get a whole clear picture, and this helps you in making the correct decisions. So for example, so let me just rate it 5 star. So I could see that all the gold based funds which are essentially investing into the gold ETF would have a very high 1 year return, in fact 3 year return. But if I look at the 5 year return, then you start to get a picture that multi asset funds are doing better. So it is helping in a lot of ways. And then you could also see what is the expense ratio you're paying for different funds and all. Nivesh Multiplier is a go-to platform for market research. It skews down your search space. It is data-backed, live data. It gives you a much more clear picture about where your money is going into, and it has a layer of AI to it. So it helps you in correct decision making, trying to make the picture more clearer for you. Hope the market research feature of Nivesh Multiplier help everyone. I think this is one of the best tool for doing mutual fund research out there in the internet. No product is backed by so much real time data, so much AI driven, making mutual fund buying journey simpler because you know where your money is going into. I hope this tool really helps everyone out there in finding their mutual funds.